Hello, I'm Michael Chigani, and this is Straight Talk. With me today is Junius Ho. Junius Ho, a legislative councillor, you've become a very controversial figure in the past few weeks over something that you said. Now, after saying that, a lot of people criticized you. Before we continue, let's just look at what you said. Okay.
如果搞港獨嘅人係將成個國家嘅命運顛覆，呢啲人唔殺咗佢做咩啊？
Now that was a protest rally organized by you and others 2 Sundays ago. During that protest, the protest rally was against Hong Kong independence. You were calling for Professor Benny Tai, a co-organizer of Occupy Central, to be fired from the Hong Kong University. One of the people on stage had said, kill all those people who support independence in Hong Kong, and you didn't dispute that in your reaction later on. Let me ask you this, Mr. Ho. As I said, it's been 2 weeks, okay, 2 Sundays ago. You've had time to reflect. Was it a heat of the moment when these things occurred that this person said, kill, and then you said, yes, have no mercy on them? Do you regret saying those words now? Because you came under a lot of criticism for saying that. Do you regret saying it now? If you had the chance, would you not use the same words?
Well, thank you, Michael, for offering me this opportunity to explain my position to the public. Yes, with the benefit of hindsight, it seems that the controversy was not on Benny Tai, it fell upon me, and that was quite something that was out of my expectation. You do remember that the main theme or the objective of the rally itself was to object separating Hong Kong from the motherland. So the Hong Kong independence is no-go. It would take us nowhere. And very much of the theme itself was also relevant to my call for Benny Tai to resign and step down from his teaching post simply because of his previous conducts and his public speaking, which was contrary to his teaching post. So therefore, that was the main theme. When guests went on to the stage, we all basically agreed to the same objectives. But somehow, when guests were on the stage, it would be just out of my control. I wasn't expecting anything that could be so. You know, it could be, you know, now with the benefit of hindsight, it could be considered as an unfortunate choice of words. But as you have just pointed out, there was no intention whatsoever on my part or even on the campaign itself was to try to agitate people to resort to violence at all. No, that was not the case. So it was just something coming out in the heat of the event itself. But of course, I would, as I have always been saying, that the rule of law is very important in Hong Kong. There's no reason whatsoever on my part to sabotage or to destroy this very golden premises or the cornerstone that we have built up so far. So that is not really my call at all. I find it is totally unfortunate for the focus of the entire discussion after the Sunday rally shifted to another. I believe this was totally unnecessary because, as I've said, some people tried to shift the focus from my original rally into something which is personally against me. And you can also see that not just it doesn't stop there, and subsequently it also spill up to other issues.
So Mr. Ho, it was an unfortunate choice of words. If you had the chance to do it all over again, you would not use those words again.
For the record, I didn't use that word at all. And it was a word uttered by a guest at that stage.
But you went along with it.
I went along with it because I knew full well that that was not his intention to agitate people.
So you think it was in the heat of the moment those words were said, and now you would say it was unfortunate, it was the wrong choice of words to use?
It was a wrong choice of words with the benefit of hindsight.
Benefit of hindsight, it was the wrong choice of words.
But at that moment, at the heat of the event itself, we all could understand that people could be, sentimental, it's quite sensational. And furthermore, that was not really in accordance with a script which was written well in advance. No, it was just impromptu remarks made by the guests at the stage.
So I think it's the first time that you're saying that it was an unfortunate choice of words. Having said that, that you won't use those words again, because in hindsight you could think it was an unfortunate choice of words. Do you hope that this controversy, which you say has been very unfair towards you, will go away because it was an unfair controversy against you?
I would certainly hope so, and in fact I would expect that all sides should adopt the same standard too. If I am now being criticized for something that uttered by a guest, and I have to take the responsibility. All right, okay, I will just face with the music. At the same time, it would be quite a different approach, isn't it, from the other side or other criticisms against me, and using even more violence and abusive languages or remarks, and not just against me alone. They are also against my family, and in fact, it's actually
you were attacked on the internet, right?
I'm still under attack in the internet, and in fact, abusive and life-threatening remarks are made against me daily. And I saw a picture, a photo that was taken yesterday, or not yesterday, on Sunday, concerning about the demonstration led by some lawmakers of the pandemic, and even making a blatant remarks to kill me with my photo in the background.
But the opposition has not said much about that. Let me just ask you something else. Now, you have said it was an unfortunate choice of words. Last year, Billy Fong, the former president of the Hong Kong University Student Union, when they stormed the council meeting chaired by Arthur Lee, Professor Arthur Lee, the council chairman, he had also used Cantonese words, which is very similar to what one of the people at your function said, although not as strong. He essentially said, "Strike him dead," or something like that. But when he said that, the opposition didn't come out and say that was wrong. How does it make you feel that when somebody at your function says something like that, you are attacked, but when Billy Fong said something similar, although not as strong, nothing happened?
I basically welcome a reasonable debate. Whatever we may beg to disagree with each other, it's all right, okay, so long as we can make the reason out of the discussion, and that's the merit of the entire exercise. And equally, I feel that Billy Fong could have also just rumble out the unfortunate choice of words during the heat of the entire event itself. I would not think that he did have the intention to inflict bodily harm or even try to murder Arthur Lee. That's not how I saw it. But suffice it to say, he himself was charged for 3 offences contrary to the public order ordinance.
That's correct, and he's been convicted.
Not simply because of using the unfortunate choice of word.
No, it was something else.
It was something else.
Right.
So therefore, when I look at the case itself, I would not just pinpoint or nitpicking about something and then to exaggerate it out of the context. I would also give the benefit of doubt to Billy Fong.
Okay.
given the young that he was, and he still is.
Okay, so you give the benefit of the doubt to Billy Fong, and you hope people will give you the benefit of the doubt as well. But the opposition, 22 legislators, your colleagues in LegCo, have signed a letter condemning you and asking that the police should investigate you and the Law Society should investigate you. The police say, yes, they've opened the case. Does that worry you?
I don't really worry too much, although I don't feel comfortable about it. Nobody would say that, it is a pleasant feeling at all. But from the things that I have just been confronting with or experiencing, I think it's fair for everybody to draw a conclusion that it is not just a fair comment, it's not just a fair criticism, but it just gives you a feeling that it's a persecution rather than a fair prosecution against some wrongful choice of word at all. So therefore,
so you feel like you're being politically persecuted?
I think so. With any person with a fair mind could see that the way they launched their offensive acts against me was simply because my firm position in launching the rally, the main theme of the rally itself is anti-separation.
Okay. Let me just stop you just for a moment.
Right.
See you soon. Don't go away. Thanks for sticking around. This is Straight Talk with Genius Ho. Now, Mr. Ho, it seems like you're not a very popular figure nowadays with the opposition. They criticized and attacked you for using, or one of the people used the word kill, and you didn't dispute that. Now they're saying that you had claimed you're a practicing solicitor in England, in Wales, and in Singapore, which turns out that you are not a practicing solicitor. How would you explain that?
I had already explained to the queries made with me earlier on. Actually, this series of inquiry and challenging my professional qualification, it only stemmed out from last Friday. I was aware, even though I took the benefit of or the advantage of the modern technology using the internet to answer all this query as much as I could. Yes, insofar as my practicing qualification in UK and also Singapore, all these are affirmative. I acquired such.
You are registered as a solicitor.
Yes,
in those places.
I was enrolled, and my name are on the roll of the solicitor.
But you're not a practicing solicitor.
I'm not. I've never been, practicing in UK and England and Wales, nor
So what
Singapore.
did you claim you were a practicing
Well, in
solicitor?
English, I said I was admitted in England, Wales, and also Singapore in the respective years. So therefore, the English itself was of no problem at all. But then down on the Chinese description that was used in my firm's the web page of my solicitor firms, it was just there was inadvertent error, without.
There was something lost in translation.
Yes, lost in translation. I took the opportunity to correct them, just for avoidance of further protection of this argument subsequently. So if there should be any misunderstanding caused to any individual, I hereby apologize. Again, that is an inadvertent error.
It was an error, and you
no
apologize
intentional
for that.
whatsoever to cause any misleading or misleading the public at all.
Now, okay, fine. You want Benny Tai to retire, not to retire, to resign. Arthur Lee, the council chairman of Hong Kong University, was here last week, and I asked him this, and he said He checked with the Vice Chancellor, he checked with the Dean of Law, and they both told him that Benny Tai had not, during lessons in class, encouraged students to join Occupy Central or to promote independence of Hong Kong. And as such, what he does in his private life is separate from what he does as a university professor, and therefore there were no grounds to ask him to resign. This is what Arthur Lee said. Do you agree with that?
I have a lot of respect for Mr. Arthur Lee. He is also a very tough person with strong conviction of what he believes to be right, and he would not condone anything that he considers wrong. Now coming back to Benny Tai, my call for Benny Tai to be sacked or removed from the teaching post, and that's my call. But nevertheless, I do respect that there should be a proper procedure to follow. So therefore, since 21st last month, August, I publicly appeal that Benny Tai should be removed from the teaching post. So I just went along with this campaign. And I wrote to the university and asked for the complaint, to treat my complaint or my request for sacking Benny Tai as a complaint too, that should be processed in accordance with the established procedures. Under Cap 1053, the ordinance, the Hong Kong University ordinance. So my call was very simple. I asked this complaint to be processed officially. That's one thing. Now, Mr. Arthur Lee said he had consulted the key figures, the prominent figures in the governing board, that they came to the conclusion that Benny Tai did not do anything contravened to their own rules.
The university
and
policies, right.
That I would love to see the report, the full report, because I was not aware of that there was an inquiry made in the first place. If so, for the benefit of the public interest, knowing it that there was such an inquiry made, that inquiry report should be made transparent and made available to the public for study. Okay. That's point one. Point two, whether or not what Benny did in the classroom, I don't know. I know not. But his performance and also the public, his political agenda was quite clear, and it was not compatible with his teaching position. So therefore, whether or not the council would only confine themselves to the things, the conduct that he did or he does within the classroom, I beg to disagree, because in Chinese saying, a teacher is a role model. Not only what he teach tantamounts importance, his conduct, his behavior, performance outside the classroom would also be very important too.
Okay, now let's watch another clip, and this is of Carrie Lam. Let's see what she says.
I have noticed that this debate has sort of spread into society at large, with people taking sides and using very foul language and so on. I think that is most unhealthy and totally unnecessary for Hong Kong.
Now, the chief executive, Carrie Lam, says that both sides should cool it. She, in fact, said people using foul language, hate speech, and not just you. She didn't name anybody. No. She just said that everybody should just cool things a little bit for the good of Hong Kong. Do you feel that it's time to perhaps stop this, Mr. Ho, instead of mounting very strong campaigns against independence advocates or wanting Benny Tai to be fired, that all sides should just calm down. Is it time for that?
I do agree to the chief executive's comments that whoever is exercising their right to fight for what they believe in should do it in a civilized and a respectable manner. She particularly said that no foul language or all this sort of the abusive language should be used. For those, I absolutely agree. On the other hand, I don't see that there's any wrong on my part in taking or champion on this rally, because a person should be responsible for what he had done wrong, including me. If you see that I have anything wrong, then you may very well pursue it to the end. That I respect. I also have the right to defend my position.
So you have a right to defend your position to say independence is wrong, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now, I've got a couple of minutes left. Regina Yip is a colleague of yours in Legislative Council. She had said some things which were not very flattering about you.
That's her style too.
Right.
Not
That's
against me necessarily.
Okay. But she said that you were rather stupid to have gone along with the word kill, and that you were giving patriots a bad name. I've got 1 minute left. Do you feel betrayed or let down that so few people in the establishment camp has come to your defense?
No, I don't feel betrayed at all. In fact, in this campaign, anti-separation, it is a very serious talk. Actually, it is in accordance with the basic law. If anyone who said or claims himself or herself to uphold the basic law, for the principal matter, let's not, get mumbo-jumbo. It has to be stated quite clear. So therefore, what I've been doing is to flare up the issue and show the rest of the party to look at the way forward. Junius is not stupid, is not foolish. In fact, I'm just the one who stepped on the front line first, and the rest of the people can see the environment better. It's not just a one man's battle. It's the entire Chinese.
They should all be fighting it. All right, I've got to end it right there. Thanks.
Thank you.